been worse. Okay, what I want today is I will take some measurements, because to be quite honest, I think I will exchange every stanchion. I mean, this stanchion here looks quite good, but I at least have to take them off and see if they are basically good in all ways. This stanchion over here will be exchanged either way, so I will basically start by taking each stuff that is a bit too moldy out and see if it can be rescued, and if not, rebuild it basically. First I will mark the stanchions. This shall be number 1. Shall be number 2. Alright, as you can see, I planed all the moldy parts away from the wood. It looks almost as new, and I have some new wood oil. Come here. And a new brush. At least, I'm pretty sure I bought one. Oh man. Let's see, it's everywhere. No. Where's the brush? Shit. Where is the brush? Oh, here. Okay. Everything is saved. Okay, that's the good stuff. Let's see how it works. Right, all the girders and stanchions are treated with the new wood oil, and I have to say it is already vastly different. Not only is it better to apply even in this very cold temperatures, but also it seems that I have to use less oil to cover the surfaces. Also, you can almost see the oil going into the wood, especially on this side where basically the grain and the old trees sap granules basically go in this direction. The oil is almost immediately absorbed, and it's almost dry here. So what I want to do now is essentially wipe them clean of the excess of oil, because they had roughly 10 minutes time to absorb the oil, and then I will reapply them to the specific parts of the ship. Alright, the cockpit is more or less frame-wise in a good condition. A little bit gunk on top, which I will take care later of, but the substantial mold is more or less... Oh god, okay, unless this bureau here is filthy. There's so much filth, but the mold is more or less gone, and well, it is gone. I planed it away and treated it with some proper oil. So anyways, I thought that maybe next step will be this one. The transom section basically is soaked up and wet, and as you can see there is lots of water behind it, and I think it may be a good idea to get rid of this because it is not that thoroughly attached. You can see that there's quite some movement there, so this will be gone next, and then I will continue constructing the frame for the cockpit benches. Alright, you may saw that the Sikaflex glue I used building this, like almost a quarter, three quarters this year in the spring. Worked pretty good. I had a hard time getting it off, needed some force. The wood itself is in surprisingly good condition. As you can see here on the inside, there was almost no water. On the outside it's a little bit dodgy. The last one, which was almost permanently on the water, is clearly, I think, mostly gone. I will let it dry and see what it's up with that. So I will put this one in the barn for drying, and I will refrain from doing anything new with wood here, because first I think what I need to do first is, because for a considerable amount of time I will not be able to get this transom section completely dry. So what I want to do essentially is make it as dry as possible, remove all this old paint here, scrap it off, and maybe, oh shit, see, here's the naked GRP, that's not good. Maybe apply a new primer for protecting the old GRP, because like up here it's pretty, oh god, it's coming apart. I hate it. See how wobbly it is here. Ah, that's not good. Maybe I need some new GRP also. It's all not very, nope, it's not cool. Anyways, this is not something I will do right now. Maybe I need some grind into that, but I don't want to grind too much away. But what I want to do now is to basically get rid of the residue, like the rest of the glue here, and remove a little bit more of the water with a sponge. This was very interesting. I was able to remove some of the GRP stuff that was there. I think it was the rest that in principle laminated the transom section directly to it. I used a part of it to fix the wood to it, and as far as I can see, this is essentially focus. This here is approximately the width of the hull. You see here, it basically goes around here. This is more or less, I stated this earlier. I think that this section was not originally built on the ship. It came later, but it's just a theory of mine. Also this one, which is pretty stable. It's a good sheet metal here. I also think that the drainage for the cockpit was installed later, and because you can clearly see like where the new quote-unquote new GFP begins. Also here is some delamination going on. So I think it is maybe better to leave the transom section completely open for now, and basically take care of the GRP. Basically scrap away the old pieces of paint. I would suggest, I could deform this with the force of my body pretty much, as well as the you can see that the ship is a bit twisted Don't know if this is visible when I hold the camera. I'm sorry. I have to put it on the ship next to mine. No. See this? It's not like you could. Okay, there's the rule of thumb in shipbuilding, especially in GRP, that you should not be able to move the ship in any way by yourself. The frame is not yet finished. That's an important point. I don't have the out whales yet. They will lend some considerable stability, and you also see here that although this piece is pretty dry, I can bend it with my hand with not so much effort to it. Another thing I need to check right now is to see if I can move the rudder. So I should not be able to move the rudder on my own by just leaning on it. But as you can see, it's possible to do that. This is not good. But anyways, this is not something I can do right now because I need essentially more GRP to do that. Yes, I made a quite unnerving discovery. Okay, let's reposition myself. Okay, without much effort, I mean this hammer and that screwdriver, I was able to basically break away this piece of GRP. It is not as thick as the hull, and underneath it is, I think, the same stuff, this like foam-like stuff. You can see I can punch right through it, and it is soaking wet. Okay. No, all jokes aside, this is not good, and this is maybe the reason why the boat is so fucking wobbly, and why I am able to again lift it that high up with just my shoulder. Oh god. Okay. I think I look stupid. No, I think that although I did nice work on the frame and the woodwork, that this GRP stuff in the hull has the absolute priority right now. Because if I can't get this straight, I will have a real problem going to sea next year. So yeah, I think I will leave it here right now, because I have to think really hard about the next step. It's not fun. No. It's actually shit.